So this video is going to be more about the everyday things that I use on a daily basis that I've found a very good use case for over the years that I've been using them. And we're going to start out with a coffee machine. I know, it might sound weird to start this video out with a coffee machine, but let me tell you, I bought the Moccamaster over 8 years ago when we moved in to our previous apartment. And to this day, it has not failed to deliver coffee to me every single morning flawlessly. And I remember when I was looking at coffee machines and I thought that $250 or $300, whatever it was costing back then, felt like a little bit too much. It was a big investment, mainly because I didn't have that good of a job back then. But I decided to go for it anyways. And now, looking back at it, I spent $250 on a coffee machine that still works 8 years later. That is a good investment. And that is why it also made it onto this list. Next up is actually going to be my Oakley Cyber Dino glasses. I purchased these, I think it was a little bit more of a year ago. They are lightweight. They are really good looking in my opinion. I've tried so many different glasses over the years, and these ones are definitely some of my favorites that I've ever had. And then we have this, which is the Ridge key case. And this particular one is in titanium, mainly because I got this fixed idea a couple of years back that I wanted to have everything in titanium that I carry with me on a daily basis. I've been using this now for a little bit more than 2 years at this point. It fills its purpose so freaking well, mainly because you have this clip right here that just clip down into your pockets and they're stuck. So if you're looking into getting a clean looking key case, then this is the one that I recommend. Again, we're talking about things that have stood the test of time. And talking about EDC stuff, we have this, which is the Dango A10 Adapt wallet. Now, a lot of people have asked me over the years why I don't just have the wallet attached to the back of my phone. And if you've been around here on the channel, then you already know the answer. But basically, I was in Los Angeles hanging out with my good friend Tom, and then my wallet was stuck back to my phone, and I forgot my phone in Walmart. That is why I will never, ever, once again in my life, have my wallet attached to my phone, and instead have it separately. I bought this 4 years ago now, and I carry it with me every single day. Not once have I been disappointed by the build quality of this, and I also like the fact that you have a little bit of a hidden compartment where you can have a little bit of cash with you. It fits all the cards that I have with me, and then I have this as well, which is the Nomad tracking card. Basically works like an AirTag whenever you need to pin your wallet because you lost it. Makes it a little bit more discreet than having an AirTag built into it. Just a quick one for you as well. This one is something that I really like. The Silver Fox Neo Pen. Take a look at this. It attaches to the bottom of the pen with neodymium magnets. Oh, magnets, man. Whenever I'm traveling, there's always a situation that occurs where someone needs a pen. Yeah, I have a pen. What do you want me to sign? And the last piece of EDC things that I want to share with you, especially for the men watching my videos, god damn it, come on, is going to be this. It is such a simple construction. Click, you're done. Click, you're done. See how it works in the back here? Magnets, man. This is something that I've been using now for a little bit more than 3 years. It is still holding up, just as I expected when I bought it. And the quality is actually outstanding. And then I have the Apple Watch Ultra, which I use pretty much every single day, and I still think it's freaking great. So if you're looking to buy one, yes, I do recommend it. Now, I'm gonna give you a bonus here. The Loop Gear SK05 Pro. Some of you have already seen me talk about this, but this is one of my favorite flashlights. Not only because it's a flashlight, but also because you can use it as a power bank. So whenever you're traveling and you need an extra power bank, you can bring this, because then you also have a flashlight that you can use as a power bank. And last thing is, of course, my Prime Gear cap and my Prime Gear shirt. If you want to pick one of these up, highly recommend you to go into the link down below. Let's move on to the desk, because here we have a couple of interesting things that I've used for more than 4 years at this point. We have the Logitech MX keys, which is probably the only keyboard that I will ever use. I don't have, I don't feel any sort of need to upgrade to anything else. Mainly because it does everything that I expect a keyboard to do, and it does it really freaking well. And then we have the Logitech MX Mouse, MX Master 3 I think that this is. I have used it so much over the course of these 3 or 4 years. So it's actually starting to get worn out, which I totally understand, because the amount of times that I click that when I'm editing or when I'm doing things in Fusion, it's one of those products that I don't expect to last me for a lifetime, but I'm super happy that it's been performing the way that it has while it's lasted. And whenever I'm editing my videos, I'm actually using the Mac Mini M4. This is on a daily basis, man. Like, I ordered the M4 Max, I think it was, with 64 gigabytes of RAM and 10 gigabit Ethernet. In hindsight, I'm really happy that I did, because now I can edit straight from my NAS without having to worry about throttled speeds whenever I'm editing. The entire 10 gigabit discussion is an entirely different video, but oh, how I love it. And as for the monitor, it is the Apple Pro XDR display with nano coating in the front, so it reduces glare. And I think it does a great job of actually reducing the glare. I have this light right here behind me, but I can't really see it in my monitor because of the nano texture coating. And I have felt absolutely no need over the course of these 2 years to upgrade to something else, because this does what I expect it to do whenever I expect it to do so. And I actually do have an entire video where I talk about this monitor as well that you can go and check out. So what about the creator tools that I use to make my videos? Well, we have my vlog setup, which is Sony ZV-E1 with the 1635 f2.8 GM lens together with the ECM B10. Now, whenever I'm recording on this camera, I'm usually using the B1M. Whenever I'm on the go, I want to have something smaller and I don't want to bring this microphone, it's usually the B10. As I've said in a lot of my previous videos, when this camera came out, I felt that most of my needs for vlogging was kind of fulfilled. I haven't felt the need to upgrade to a different camera when it comes to my vlogging, making videos purpose. I have the FX3 here, I have the ZV-E1 with me, and then I have my A9 III as the main go-to, how do you say, like photo backup camera, I guess. And then of course we have the Tilta Prime Gear Arc, the all-in-one recharge companion. Some of you might have already seen my what's in my camera bag video, but this is basically a battery charger and a card reader all in one single unit. But you can also use those two batteries as a power bank to charge your phone or other devices. So the cool thing is that when you have a unit like this together with the Arc, which basically means that if you want, you can use the battery from your flashlight to charge your camera batteries. The fact that you can read 2 memory cards at once with this is great, especially if you're flying drones and vlogging at the same time, because then you can put in the SD card from your vlog camera and your drone and then transfer it into the same folder if you want to do that. This thing is always in my camera bag. So let's leave the desk and the camera nerdy stuff and talk about the things that I have in and around my house, such as the Homie Pro. The fun thing is that when I bought the Homie Pro, I had absolutely zero expectations of it. I was reading up online and people said like, well, you should give this a try if you are into smart home automation. And I was like, nah, I don't know. So I bought it, I gave it a try, but I never really fell in love with it until I started to actually care for the flows that I was setting up. And now it has been approximately 2 years that I've been using the Homie Pro and I love it. There's so many things that I can automate in my house that makes living simpler with the Homie Pro. If you're into smart home automation and you don't want to go down the Home Assistant route, that is where the Homie Pro fits right in. And then we have the lighting that I got here in the studio, but also in my house, which is Philips Hue. I still have some of the good old lights that I purchased over 8 years ago in my old studio that still works. Being able to have a reliable system for that long without any sort of hiccups, that is the kind of thing that I expect whenever I pay a premium price for a product. And when we moved into this house, I remember that I said to my fiance that I do not want to vacuum. So the first thing that I did was to purchase a Robo Vacuum. But as soon as I installed it, we started to use it, and then I think it took approximately like 1.5 to 2 months, and we both felt that this is something that we can't be without. It just does its job, and it does it really freaking well. It goes under the bed, it goes under the furniture, and that is great, if you ask me, because then I don't have to vacuum. And something that I've talked about before is Unified and the entire network setup that I got here in my studio. Because if you have a house with a lot of internet traffic, a lot of smart home stuff, a lot of tech that is connected to the Internet of Things, then you need to have a reliable backbone. And that is where the Unified setup comes into play. Like being able to have access points all across the house and outside to enhance the Wi-Fi, combined with power over Ethernet surveillance cameras and a great freaking UI. That is what makes it so fun to actually use the product. The best part about the whole UniFi thing is that I had absolutely no interest before I started using UniFi to actually care for anything that was network related. But now I'm one of the biggest nerds that you can find here in Sweden. Well, maybe not, but I'm a big nerd. And the last thing that I use on a pretty much daily basis is the Bambu H2D. Having a 3D printer is something that can be super rewarding, or it can be one of those things that you're like, I don't know what to print. After you printed like the first couple of prints that you felt that you needed, and then it kind of fades off. But for someone like me that is creating my own stuff, that is designing things in Fusion 360, and that constantly has new ideas about what I can optimize, what I can create a new mount for, it is golden, because it enables me to do so many things that I have on top of my head with just a couple of clicks on a button, and then boom, you get a finished result. To be able to prototype things and to be able to print your own mounts for the IKEA SCADIS or wherever it might be is just so incredibly satisfying. And I think that if you're looking into buying any of these products that I've talked about in this video, you will not be disappointed. As I said in the beginning of this video, I've reviewed a bunch of different products across these years that I've been working as a YouTuber. But these ones are the ones that have actually been integrated into my everyday life. I'm planning on doing a video where I dive a little bit deeper into the smart home tech stuff that I personally enjoy and the things that I think I value the most when it comes to smart home tech. So if you want to see that, don't forget to follow, subscribe, like, hype, whatever it is that you can do on YouTube now. And also, I would love to know, what is your favorite product that you have in your arsenal? Do drop a comment down below, because I'd love to have a discussion with you. Peter from Sweden is saying goodbye. Thank you for watching.